Hey, what's up, guys? I wanted to make a quick video today. A couple of you have reached out in the last week or so, kind of just like asking what's been going on. Not a lot. I think like two people. So I wanted to make a video just like going over my thoughts and where I'm at, and what are my plans during this time. So um, yeah, a couple weeks ago I made a video how wasn't really sure how to go about it, in terms of growing the agency and everything during this time. And since then, I gotten a lot better at saving clients, right? Like playing defense in the agency. So got a lot better at that, and really more like a mindset wise, in terms of how to basically accepting what's going to happen. And then also came across a few things where you can potentially still sell services, marketing services during this time. So I wanted to share with you guys a bit about that, and then at the end of this video, I want to kind of make like a actual transition into what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this time, that we're under this whole tornado of this virus thing. So first things first, what am I doing with the agency, right? So an update, lost like 12 clients, right? It's roughly a third of the agency that went down in March. In April, so far, lost what? I think like 3 clients. So it is slowing down. So the rate of losing is slowing down. So I think a lot of our clients who are like afraid right off the bat, let go right away real quick, right? As soon as things start to get worse, like midway to March, between March 15th and end of March was like a huge hit. And then in April, I'm probably hearing about 1 to 2 clients who are either pausing their payments or canceling per week, right? So we went from anywhere, we were around 55, 60K per month to now we're in the 40s. So it's a huge hit, right? It's a huge hit, but I'm not here to just complain, because I know a lot of other industries got hit way harder. I happen to be very lucky that I'm in, my main niche is a service-based business that is actually considered an essential worker in most states. And so it's not as big of a hit, but 30% is 30% of the business. Anybody who grows an SEO agency knows that it's not something that, it takes some time to get these clients. So it is mentally, a difficult time regardless, when you're seeing so many clients, pause their payments. And not only pause, I'm getting, at least a third of the clients who are kind of canceling, right? So whether they're going to be back or not is questionable. And even the clients who pause, a lot of times it's questionable. If enough time goes by, they don't really remember exactly what was, I don't know. So that's that. That's right. That's what happened. Facts. Okay. Now, what I did though with a couple of the clients that is working out pretty well is we're basically mitigating, the damage, right? So for one of the ways, there's multiple things I'm doing depending on where we're at, and I'm sharing these with the students in the course we have. We're still doing the weekly calls, but one of them I'll share with you that worked really well was when clients are talking about canceling or pausing the payment, you can just kind of talk them into, it's okay to pause the payment and we're still going to continue doing everything, and how about just pay per performance, right? So I did this with a client right away, as soon as mid-March. And within the last 2 weeks of March, so in 1.5, 2 weeks, they got 5 qualified calls, and that still end up being $1,000, right? So that was kind of eye-opening, because if you are in an industry and you have SEO clients, more often than not, they are gonna know the value of calls. Generally speaking, people who pay for SEO or pay properly, if they're spending $2,000, $3,000 for SEO, they're not the type of client who's going to be like, yeah, a call is $20, right? For a roofer, a good call, if they're running AdWords, it's going to be costing them 150, 200, even more, 200 to even $300 if they're not running it properly to generate qualified calls. So that's one thing that I realized is probably the best scenario, one of the best things you could do. And then given if the client is not up for that, or let's say if you're not really, driving calls yet or whatever it may be, there's a couple other things you could do that can really make it good. That's like, one-offs that you can basically provide the client during this time, such as websites and a couple other stuff that can help them out. I mean, it's just going to really depend industry, but that's really what I mean when I'm saying that I got a bit better at the defense side of things. And I mean, a really good example of that is just like a couple of days ago, I got a client who wanted to basically dispute like 7 months of SEO. And I was freaking out because this guy went and actually canceled all the payments because he got really upset at something we did, put up a page on his site, and we didn't have permission to put up a page on the the menu or something like that. In the end of it, I found out, I finally, I was like, didn't know what to do. I called the company multiple times and got to finally speak to the owner. And I kind of found out that it was like, in the end, just like the manager in the company, like just causing all kinds of problems. Goes to show, like, when in doubt, I mean, things are bad, but not that bad. When in doubt, when things are looking insanely crazy between you and another person, pick up the phone and call them, right? I was turning into a keyboard warrior, like just writing up this insane email explaining to them how that is unacceptable and all this stuff. And then halfway through I stopped and I just called it, and I just kept calling them until I found out, and it went okay. I'm probably I should make a video about this because I actually have the conversations recorded and stuff like that. So I think it'll be interesting. But anyways, going back to the point, I'm sidetracking. Going back to the point is, really like, I probably leveled up in saving clients like level 99 if I was a RuneScape character, because I just been losing clients left and right, and just talking to them so much. It's basically like I'm getting optimized to save accounts, right? I'm like getting really good at reporting. Like I could basically report on anything. Like I bet like randomly if I get an account and they haven't really done anything even in terms of that SEO, I could probably find things that to report to show them the progress that's going on. I mean, not to say that, use it as like a, almost like a, a way to like when you're not, if you're not doing the, work properly. I'm just saying, for example, like what's this whole experience is getting me more experienced in. All right. So having that said, while this is going on, guys, this is what it comes down to. Where are we at? 8 minutes. Okay. Kind of getting ranty. I gotta like chill out a bit. I haven't been really meditating. My sleep schedule is also all over the place. So I'm like very easy to get off track and unfocused on things. But going to the main point, this leads to the main point is this. I finally took the time to make some calls, right? And to my surprise, what I saw is that you can still sell marketing services. In fact, depending on who you're calling, the way you built your list, and the industries you're calling, and, areas they are in, like, I mean, it sounds like all three of them, those things are basic, but every single one of those things are more important than ever before. Because if you can target certain things the right way right now, you can get through to people that are never available, right? And now they are completely all ears for the first time. So if you target properly, you can still sell like marketing services pretty well right now. And I found this out like within just like 2-3 days of calling. And to my surprise, like I thought, it's like no possible way, because I'm getting clients that are canceling and losing them. But what is basically happening is people who are unreachable, and also people who have generally other marketing vehicles that are working for them. Let's say like for a contractor, normally they're doing direct mail, flyers, door knocking, and whatever else they're doing to grow their business. When all of those things shut down and they're not legally allowed to door knock, they're not allowed to do a lot of those things, naturally they're more open to like, okay, how do I grow this business? Given they're still looking for a way, they're going to look online, right? So if you're going to come up there with a product, with a way, whatever it may be, right? If you're a beginner, I would go for one-offs, like one-off way to really be that consultant and kind of show them to get their entire online presence up, right? This is probably one of the only times where I would think about doing something like this, where I would even probably target people who are not ideal for SEO, right? Like for SEO, they generally want to be, you want to target people who are already making a certain amount of money. They already have good amount of like at least one channel of generating leads consistently. Now they want to go to the next level and become one of the authority, business owners in their city, and so on and so on, in that line of thought. But this is probably one of the only times where I would say that you could do the opposite. Like people who don't have a proper website, people who don't have their Google My Business set up properly. This is a time that those can work well, right? I mean, some people almost always target those people, which is why it's so hard to sell SEO, right? If you're following me here, I hear still to this day, a lot of people are like, hey, what do they say? What's one of those tools that used to go around? I don't know if it's still a thing, but they used to like target GMBs that are not like verified. And then like this tool gets all the GMBs in this industry that's not verified. So you can call them worst people for SEO. Why the hell are you calling people who can't even get the GMB fix for like a $2,000, $3,000 marketing package? It's going to make sense to them, right? But now in this time, that could be good, because it's a good time to set up that one-off, relationship, and maybe charge them something low, $500 one-time $1,000 to get the entire setup going, and then get their whole thing online. And then after that, you just built your book of business, so that when things start to get better, you have that person to upsell. So all these kind of things can be really good right now, depending on exactly how you go about it. And if you're a beginner, and I've been saying this in the course like every week, every call I say this one thing. If you're a beginner, I wouldn't think too much of this time, right? Like if you look at the problems I'm having right now, it's because like it's really mentally hard to try to sell, even if I can sell, right? It's hard to sell when I'm losing like a client or two every single week, right? It doesn't make sense. To me, I'm not trying to like have that whole fight, like, yeah, we'll go through and still maintain and grow the business while like, still I'm like losing. I'm like, no, like, let me chill out. The agency had like about 41 clients and I'm losing it at a fast pace. Let me just chill out and like, play defense and really get good and really take care of the clients that are already on, and just play this game and ride this out, right? And, once I made that shift mentally, which is really like in the last like a week and a half, in April, things got a lot easier, right? Instead of me thinking and counting down the days, like, oh my God, okay, Trump said April 12th, everybody's gonna go back to work. Okay, April 12th, keep going. Save the clients till then, and then it's fine. You can then start all the growth again. But that doesn't happen, and then I'm like devastated. So now that I finally accepted, I'm like, look, this is unforeseen time. Like nobody really knows when it's going to be fixed, and even if like whatever, like we consider one factor getting fixed, like let's say the amount of deaths from corona starts declining, that doesn't directly mean that you can sell right away, because maybe people will need to go in the economy and be able to completely work again and be fine, and social distancing can't be a thing at all until the businesses that you target to sell marketing services have to feel confident again, right? Whatever it may be, whatever like needs to happen basically until clients feel fully comfortable. That's not like a day and night situation. That's not like one thing happens and then like next day everything's fine again. It might take some time. So given all those factors, what I'm thinking right now, and my mindset right now is like, hey, look, I'm in maintenance mode. Let's see how things go. We like kind of tighten back with our expenses, and I'm not trying to just like try all kinds of shit, throwing things against the wall in terms of like Facebook ads or anything, trying to like see what's going to work right now. Kind of just like shut most things off in terms of growth and fully in maintenance mode. And since I did that, it's been a lot easier, like mentally. It's taking I don't know how many, like how much I'm working right now. Probably like here, I pulled this up to show you guys if you want to know exactly what I'm doing right now, look at this time. This is my YouTube time watched. 37 hours, 14 minutes in the last week. So there you go. I'm probably working like hour a day, hour or 2 hours a day in the morning, like just looking at stuff randomly, like mindlessly checking some rankings here and there, going through Facebook, and you know, all those normal stuff that I socially, like, I mean, normally block, like Facebook events and newsfeed, those are all on. So like, I'm just binge watching YouTube videos, started watching this TV show, Walking Dead. So all kinds of like normal stuff, you could say, what the normal person does who doesn't run a business, or, you know, or whatever you want to call it. So that's what I kind of just been doing. All right. And since I made that mindset shift, that's kind of where I have been, right? Just being a slob, pretty much, to sum it up. Being a slob, and yeah. So, all right, we're at 16 minutes. So now that I kind of, you know, gave that update of like pretty much where I'm at and my mindset doing the whole thing, that I'm fully in defense mode and I'm not counting the days anymore. That's, I think, is, if you're in defense mode, that's the most important thing, right? So if you're in defense mode, right, which again, you could be if you're not a beginner, right? If you're a beginner, guys, like if you're, again, I want to say it one more time. If you have just like couple clients, 3-4 clients, or even worse, like let's say no clients at all, don't use this time as an excuse, right? It's not like this fixes and then you enter the market as like the sales god and you start blowing up. That doesn't work like that. If you're a complete beginner and you don't have any clients, there's still a good amount of margin of work that has to go in before you start getting traction. So get into that right now, right? It's, I think, pretty clear from all the, all those like flowery Instagram shit that people are saying right now, like, you know, best time to build yourself up, you know, from all those stuff, it's probably pretty clear that this is actually, you know, one of the best times to, you know, build a skill. So don't use this as excuse as, you know, to slow down and, you know, you can't do anything else. You have to be a slob just like me. I'm being a slob because I kind of have to, right? It's better for me to be a defense than try to go all out when I'm losing clients. So again, I'm saying that point once again. All right, so now to recap. All that being said, right? Mindset shift. I'm not waiting for the days. I'm fine with it. Just seeing where things go. Taking care of the clients best I can. You know, being available. You know, if anybody needs to call. Although it seems like it's really slowing down. Even the number of clients that's going to cancel is really like pretty much lost like 12 clients in a span of like 2-3 weeks. So. I mean, I'm not surprised it's slowing down, but point is not really working that much. What's next? And that's what I want to make the last 2 to 3 minutes of this video. And especially if anybody's interested, I'm going to go on to make a series of videos in the next couple of weeks about what I'm about to talk about now. So what I'm kind of shifting to is, drum roll, becoming an investor. So if you have been looking at YouTube for, you know, things related to investing and stock market, or anything to do with making this crisis and, you know, using the crisis to make some money from buying low and selling high, you probably know already that everybody and their mom is talking about the stock market, basically, right? And that's kind of like partly a lot of the those 37 hours of video that I'm watching is to do with that, just to see, like, get an idea of like where everybody's head is at with when it comes to investing their money in the, and then, you know, all these people in YouTube making videos about giving advice, where that whole thing is at. And I feel like I have some stuff to say about it. You know, since I started the agency, you guys have seen, you know, if you've been watching my video for some time, that I do get distracted from investing from time to time. Every once in a while, you know, I really get into like trying to understand, like, hey, should I be, you know, investing in this, or like learning real estate or something like that? And it kind of distracts me. In the past, it was bad because it distracted me from growing my business, which is my main thing. But as of right now, with me being a slob and just watching YouTube videos all day, I would say it's a pretty good time for me to like get into this, especially when the market's down. So it's kind of like one of the best things I could probably be doing. So what I wanted to do is make like a small series of videos. Like, I'll probably start my first one next week and make like a series of 3 to 4 videos over the next couple of months, investing my money in several things. I already put 20K in a Vanguard, like it's just like a total stock market with a few stocks that I picked in that account individually. And that made 5K so far. Not realized profits. It's just, I bought it at the right time. Or like not the right time. When it initially dipped, I bought some, then I was trying to average down, and then market picked up. I'm hoping for it to go back down so I can buy some more stuff and so on. So what I want to do is I made a little plan for me of where I'm going to be structuring these investments by, partially in Vanguard, partially in like a dividend portfolio, partially in a little bit in potentially real estate. I just got a course on real estate, so I'm looking through that. And then also a little bit into some interesting stuff, like a small investment in a farmland with a friend of mine in New York. So thought it would be interesting, since I'm like getting really into this, to introduce it to the channel. And where a lot of us are growing agencies, so I think it'd be a good time for you guys to also kind of see what another agency owner could invest in. And it's not going to be anything like investing advice. If you guys know me, I'm not like that good in finances, but it might be interesting to follow my journey to see what kind of things I'm gonna be buying and my thought process behind it. And I'll share everything like very openly. I'll show my accounts and all that kind of stuff, and so you guys can get some perspective of exactly what's going on. I think it's gonna be good. And the last thing I want to say is, a lot of the YouTubers that I'm looking at, they have a lot of following, and a lot of them don't show their accounts. They just give like how do you say, like they just have advice. They just say like, this is a good stock to buy right now, and the reason behind it is this. But they don't give any perspective of like how much total money are they investing, and how many, like what percentage of the portfolio is allocated for that stock. Without that kind of info, you have no idea of how much confidence a person has on on a particular investment at all, whether it be a stock, a real estate, or anything, right? So given I've been delving into this a bit, and I know quite a bit for the last couple of weeks, and I'm gonna be putting a good amount of my own money in it. I think it'll be a good thing to follow. So that's pretty much it, guys. I was trying to see what else to say about that, but I don't think really anything I have. It's probably going to be a slower process. I mean, because I'm not going to be making really a video talking too much about hypotheticals. I'm going to just make a video about like what I did, my thought process behind it, and then you guys get to see what happens as time passes. And then like the next investment I'm going to make, I'll kind of introduce it briefly, like what I'm thinking of doing and what I'm watching out for. And then the next video will be like what I did, and here's the money I put in, and then you guys just get to follow me, right? I'm not gonna make too much about like all this other stuff. I'm not trying to turn this into like some kind of YouTube channel about investing. So just wanted to set the stage in terms of like what my plan is with that. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. So for the 2 or 3 of you who might have been wondering what I've been up to, here was a very ranty like video explaining exactly where I've been and my mindset behind the whole thing, with the current state, as well as what I'm looking to do with rest of my time while we are still in this. Peace.